I believe that Kamala Harris is whatever she says she is, but I believe importantly that President Trump is right that she's a chameleon.
Donald Trump's running mate / new attack dog, J.D. Vance, made a Sunday show sweep over the weekend, doubling down on the former president's attack on Kamala Harris's racial identity. Joining us now, former RNC chairman and co-host of The Weekend right here on MSNBC, Michael Steele. I hate saying doubling down because we're always doubling down on something in politics.
Yeah.
All right. So this idea that she's not who she says she is, or she's trying to play the race card, I mean, it's been widely seen as race baiting from Donald Trump. What do you think that they are just diving back into it? They are, as you know, I'm going to say again, doubling down.
Yeah, they are. They're tripling down on that. Look, she's a black woman, and she's also an Asian woman. She's got that, JD and Trump. People can be more than one thing. I mean, you're maybe part Irish and part German.
Excuse me, no, I am Greek. Can you see it in my tan? Thank you very much.
Right. Exactly, Kate. That's the point. But here's the underlying narrative. This is not playing to the vast majority of Americans. This is playing to a very isolated faction of the country that's important to. They're not enthralled by a black woman running for the office. So we want to make it a pejorative. We want to talk about it in a negative way. We don't want to level it up as something that is small p progressive for the country to have an African American woman who is the current vice president running for president. That's a different storyline. So, look, we know what's going on here. We all get it. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are going to play in that cesspool of stupid, thinking that they're swaying people more broadly. This campaign has proven itself to be one of contraction, not addition, not multiplication. It is doubling down, tripling down, as you noted, on that core base vote. Donald Trump's thinking, his logic, because he's such a political guru, is that the more of my MAGA comes out, the greater my chances of winning, which triggers, oddly enough, the whole fixation on crowd size, because the crowd size have diminished for him. Kamala's has not. And that, more than anything else, is why he did that press conference, to say to his base, y'all need to get back in the game with me because I need you. Again, this is not about addition and multiplication. It is about contraction around getting his base to push out and win the election for him.
The Democrats, I'm curious about what the Democrats have in front of them, but, the New York Times is reporting that Donald Trump doesn't quite know how to run against Kamala Harris. And we've seen, obviously, examples of that, the way that he's trying to grab back attention in the headlines with all of the volatile stuff he's been saying. But looking down the line, again, we're, less than 100 days out from the election. What are the speed traps you see for the Democrats ahead?
Oh, there are. There are a number of speed traps, and a lot of them, ironically enough, are going to be on policy. It's not going to be on the style and the energy and the interest in the campaign, where the Democrats have now got to begin to align itself with the voters is on the narrative of, okay, we didn't have a real sense of what a second Biden term would look like. You now need to fill in what a first Harris term will look like. And that's where you're getting a lot of push-up from members of the press saying, you won't sit down with us, however you talk to us. Okay, it's been 3 weeks, folks. So give her the time to sort of put that together. But absolutely, by the time she rolls into Chicago, and certainly when she rolls out of Chicago, she will have to have begun to lay the seeds for narratives on health care, child care, the border, foreign policy. How much of a distance is she going to create between her administration and the Biden administration relative to Israel, relative to the Palestinian question? So there are going to be a number of things where I think there's going to be potential speed bumps that could impact momentum, could impact the energy, and certainly realign the numbers, as you were talking with our buddy Mark about some of the polling earlier, realign those numbers, make it a little bit more tighter than a 4 or 5 point race to a 2-3 point race. We'll see. but a lot of it's going to be dependent on how she approaches policy on her side.
And she's apparently says she will be coming out with a policy news conference or event soon. One other question, though, on the subject of the word weird and how Tim Walz was able to use it and the Democrats attach themselves to it and it's working. It makes Donald Trump not seem so powerful, but also just less than in the Democrat side, something that they've been looking for the past 8 years. Can they overdo it on the word weird? Is that potentially going to be a problem?
Can Trump
the
overdo
Democrats, I was listening to an Ezra Klein podcast today where he was warning against all of the Democrats coming on and overusing weird, that it works for Tim Walz because Tim Walz is, a Midwestern guy from a town of 400 and he, he's at those Thanksgiving dinner tables where some of the family members are Trump supporters. It works for him. But worried the Democrats if they started using weird too much.
Well,
might get themselves into trouble. Might take away the power of that word.
Nah, that's the nervous Nelly side of the Democratic Party. Lean into the fight, for heaven's sake. Good God. You're second-guessing a strategy that's working. So everyone picks it up and run with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll know if it becomes too much. Is it too much? Lock her up? Was that too much? All the crazy stuff that comes out of Trump land, talking, all the time we spent, you heard other people out there talking about sharks and electric vehicles, electric batteries. Look, the reality of it is it works. There's something, what Tim Walz did was he crystallized in one word what people already believe, but never really had the word to fit it. And so that's why it works. That's why the whole narrative around J.D. Vance stuck the way it did, because regardless of whether what they were saying on Twitter about J.D. Vance was true, what was important and what people missed was that people actually believed it. And that tells you a lot about what people think about these candidates. So if you level up a word like weird and it takes off and people are like using it and they're like, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, they're weird. That's because they believe they're weird. And that's good narrative. And so you don't want to overdo it, like every word out of your mouth shouldn't be weird.
Yeah.
But in the context of a conversation, every once in a while you go, yeah, that's really kind of weird, Katie. I'm sorry, that's just weird. And let it go.
All right, Michael, I got to let it go right now. Thank you
There you
very
go.
much, my friend.